Hello everyone. Hi. So this is the third video of quadratic equations. Okay. And this video is important because in this video I'm going to tell you different varieties of question that you can expect after learning introduction to quadratic polynomials or quadratic equations. So these are basic questions so that I have categorized into different types, three different types basically, and then I'll give you the types and then we'll solve a lot of questions based on that so that you become familiar to such concepts, and when you get such questions in your exams you will be able to solve it. So this is like questions sections related to quadratic equations introduction. Okay. So these are basic questions, basic varieties of questions that you can expect after studying Introduction to Quadratic Equations. So first of all, let us start with type 1 questions. See, in this type of questions, you need to find out whether a given equation is quadratic or not. Okay, I'll again repeat, in this type, you need to identify whether the given equation is quadratic or not. Okay, so let us see some examples, then it will be more clear. Say I have x square minus 8x plus 40 equals to 0. Okay, is this a quadratic equation? Let us see. As I can see that x square minus 8x plus 40, if I'll call this p of x, is this a quadratic polynomial? Yes, it is, because the degree is 2, hence this is a quadratic polynomial. And if this is a quadratic polynomial and if I'll equate this to 0, x square minus 8x plus 40 equals to 0, this becomes a quadratic equation. Okay, got it now? Okay, fine. Let us see another example. Say if I have 12x square minus of 8x equals to 0. Is this a quadratic equation? Yes, it is a quadratic equation because see, this is a quadratic polynomial equated to 0. This is a quadratic polynomial because the degree is 2, hence it is a quadratic equation. Third example, can you tell me whether x plus 2 by x equals to 1? Is this a quadratic equation? I would suggest you, before seeing the answer, you can pause the video and try to solve it yourself so that you can try it. If you are correct, well done, good enough. If you are not, then you can see my solutions and then you can know where you made a mistake. Okay, so you have this equation x plus 2 by x equals to 1. Now we need to see that whether this is a quadratic equation or not. So let us take the LCM. When I take the LCM, this becomes x into x square plus 2 is equal to 1. Now what I'll do, I'll cross multiply. Okay, so this becomes x square plus 2 is equal to x. I'll take this x this side, so this becomes x square minus of x plus of 2 equal to 0. Is this a quadratic equation? Yes, it is a quadratic equation. Hence, our initial equation was a quadratic equation. Only the thing was it was not rearranged in this form, but it was a quadratic equation. Let us go with another example. You see, maths is all about solving questions. The more questions, the more variety of questions you can solve, the easier it will be for you to tackle your examination, to score good marks, to understand the concepts. Okay. Say I have an equation x square plus root 2 times x plus of root 17 equals to 0. Is this a quadratic equation? Yes, it is. Why this is a quadratic equation? Because the degree is 2 here. Okay, I told you very initially in the first video itself, we concentrate only on the powers of variables and not on the powers of constant, because this will anyhow give you a constant value. Okay, so all the conditions satisfied, this is a quadratic polynomial equated to 0, it becomes a quadratic equation. Okay, if I have another equation, say 3x square plus 19x minus of 8 is equal to 2x square plus 9x plus 7. Is this a quadratic equation? Now, as you can see that I have equated one quadratic polynomial to another quadratic equation polynomial. Okay, let us rearrange the terms. I'll bring all these terms this side. So what do I have? 3x square minus 2x square. Okay, this term came this side plus 19x minus of 9x, and minus 8 minus 7 equals to 0. So let me simplify this further. 3x square minus 2x square is x square. 19x minus 9x is 10x. Minus 8 minus 7 is minus 15 equal to 0. Now isn't this a quadratic equation? Yes, it is. Hence the given equation was a quadratic equation. Okay, so it is all about simplification. The better you can simplify, the easier it is for you to identify whether it is a quadratic equation or not. Okay, another example is, say I have x square plus 1 by x square equals to 4. Now can you tell me whether this is a quadratic? Let us simplify. Let me take the LCM. X square into x square will become x to the power 4 plus of 1 is equal to 4. Now I'll cross multiply. So this becomes x to the power of 4 plus of 1 is equal to 4 x square. I'll make this term come this side. So it becomes x to the power of 4 minus of 4x square plus of 1 equals to 0. Now what is the degree of this equation? 4. Now you know that the degree of a quadratic equation is 2. Hence this is not a quadratic equation. Got the logic? Why? Because the degree is 4 here. In order to be a quadratic equation, the degree of this polynomial should be 2. But since the degree is 4 here and we equated it to 0, this is a biquadratic equation. Okay, we call biquadratic when degree is equal to 4. Clear? Okay, let me take another example. Say I have 9x square minus of 8x is equal to 9x square plus 7x. Is this a quadratic equation? Let me simplify. 9x square, 9x square, I'll cut both of them. So this becomes minus 8x plus 7x. I'll bring minus 7x this side, minus 8x minus 7x equals to 0, which becomes minus 15x equals to 0, which is not a quadratic equation because the degree is 1. Clear? Okay. If I have, say, x square plus 12 root x minus 7 equal to 0, is this a quadratic equation? Now you will say that here the x is the power is 2, so the degree is 2, hence it should be a quadratic equation. But no dear, see, the thing is, I told you quadratic equation or quadratic polynomial, the first and the foremost condition is that this should be a polynomial. The LHS should be a polynomial. But is this a polynomial? No. Why? Because see the second term. Here the power of x is 1 by 2, which is not a whole number. Okay, if this is not a whole number, this is not a polynomial. Okay, if this is not a polynomial, this won't be a quadratic polynomial, and we can't, if when we equate this to 0, it will not be a quadratic equation. Okay, is this clear? So always take care of few things, that it should be a polynomial and the degree should be 2, then only it will be a quadratic equation. Say if I have 1 by x square plus 7x plus 3 equals to 2. Is this a quadratic polynomial or quadratic equation? Let us see. Let us cross multiply. So what will we have? 1 equals to 2x square plus 14x plus 6. If I'll simplify it further, I'll get 2x square plus of 14x. This 1 will come this side and will become minus. So 6 minus 1, 5 equals to 0. Satisfying the condition, hence this is a quadratic equation. So our initial equation was a quadratic equation. Okay, good. So one more question in this type. Tell me whether x square plus 2x by x square plus 2 equals to 4x plus 3 by 4x plus 1. Is this a quadratic equation? Many guesses. Can you solve? Just try solving, then see the solution. Okay, so what we'll do, let us cross multiply it first. So what will we have? X square plus 2x into 4x plus 1 is equal to 4x plus 3 into x square plus 2. Okay, now let us try multiplying this. X square into 4x plus 1 is 4x square plus x square 2x into 4x plus 1 is 8x square plus of 2x. Am I correct? Just see the calculation. Please forgive me if there is any calculation mistake, but I'll try myself to be as much accurate as possible. So this becomes x square into 4x is 4x cube, not x square. Okay, x square into 1 is x square. 2x into 4x is 8x square, and 2x into 1 is 2x, and this is equal to 4x into x is again 4x cube. 4x plus into 2 is 8x, 3 into x square is 3x square, and 3 into 2 is 6. Correct? Let me have a quick look once again. 4x into x square is 4x cube, 4x into 2 is 8x, 3 into x square is 3x square, and 3 into 2 is 6. Now 4x cube, 4x cube. Can I cancel them? Cancelled. Now let me take all the terms together. X square plus 8x square is 9x square, plus 2x is equal to 3x square plus 8x plus 6. So now let me shift all these terms on LHS. So this becomes 9x square minus 3x square plus of 2x minus of 8x minus of 6 equals to 0. So this becomes what? 6x square minus of 6x minus of 6 equals to 0. Okay, is this a quadratic? Yes, it is a quadratic equation. Hence our initial condition, initial given equation is a quadratic equation. So I think now you have a clear picture how to identify a quadratic equation. Just keep on solving it. At the last, if you get a quadratic equation, simple quadratic equation in standard form, then the initial equation will be a quadratic equation. Now let us see type 2 problems. Okay, what are type 2 problems? Okay, in this type of problems, you need to determine whether the given values are solution of the quadratic equation or not. Okay, you need to determine whether given values of x are solution of given quadratic equation or not. Okay, now this is simple. I'll tell you why. Let us see some examples. Say if the question is I am given an equation x square plus 2x plus 1 equals to 0, and they are asking me that verify whether x equals to minus 1 is the solution of this or not. See, what do you mean by solution? Okay, if I'm telling this a solution, what is the meaning of this word? Try to identify this. Okay, try to understand the meaning of solution. Solution always satisfies the initial condition. Okay, a solution is only considered to be a solution when it satisfies the initial given condition. Okay, so if x min equals to minus 1 is the solution of this, it should satisfy this. So let us check. Let us take the LHS. So x square plus 2x plus 1, I'll substitute x equals to minus 1. So I have minus 1 whole square plus 2 into minus 1 plus of 1, which is equal to 1 minus 2 plus of 1, which is equal to 0, which is equal to RHS. Hence satisfies. Hence I can say that x equals to minus 1 is the solution of given quadratic equation. I think now you got the concept. We'll solve few more problems and then we'll move on to type 3. But I will again request you to solve the problems first by yourself and then you should see the solution. Say if I have x square minus of root 2 plus root 7x plus of root 14 equals to 0, and you need to check whether x equals to root 2 is the solution or not. Okay, so let us put x equals to root 2 in LHS and let us see whether this is equal to RHS or not. So what do I have? Root 2 whole square minus of root 2 plus of root 7 times root 2 because x is here plus of root 14. After simplifying, what do I have? Root 2 whole square is 2 minus of root 2 into root 2 is 2 and root 2 into root 7 is plus root 14. again this one plus root 14. So this is equal to 2 minus 2 minus root 14 plus root 14. This and this cancelled, this and this cancelled, finally equal to 0, which is our RHS. Hence, x equal to root 2 is the solution of the given quadratic equation. Okay, now try this question. Say, tell me whether for the equation 2x square minus 9x minus 18, x equals to 6 and minus 3 by 2, are they the solutions of the given equation? Okay, equals to 0. I'll again repeat my question. A quadratic equation is given, 2x square minus 9x minus 18 equals to 0. You need to verify whether x equals to 6 and x equals to minus 3 by 2 are the solutions of the given equation or not. So let us start with x equals to 6. Let us substitute in the LHS and check. 2 into 6 square minus 9 into 6 minus of 18. This is equal to 2 into 36 minus 9 6 are 54 minus of 18. This is equal to 72 minus of 72, which is equal to 0. This is our RHS satisfying, hence x equal to 6 is our solution. Now let us check for x equals to minus 3 by 2. So 2 into minus 3 by 2 whole square minus of 9 into minus 3 by 2 minus of 18. This is our LHS. Let us simplify. 2 into 9 by 4 minus plus of 9 is 27 by 2 minus of 18. This 2 will cancel the 4, it becomes 2. So 9 by 2 plus of 27 by 2 minus of 18, which is equal to 36 by 2 minus of 18, which is equal to 18 minus 18 equals to 0, equal to RHS. Hence, x equals to minus 3 by 2 is also the solution. Hence, both of them are the solution of the given equation. So, is it clear now? Are you able to identify? Let us take a last example. Say I have the equation x square minus x plus 1 equals to 0, and I need to check whether x equals to 1 and minus 1 are the solutions or not. Again, the same process. Substitute x equals to 1 in LHS. What do you get? 1 square minus of 1 plus of 1, which is equal to 1 minus 1 plus 1, which is 2 minus 1 equals to 1, which is not equal to RHS, because RHS is what? 0. Hence, x equals to 1 is not the solution. And if I'll keep, say, x equals to minus 1, so what does the LHS comes? Minus 1 whole square minus of minus 1 plus of 1, which is equal to 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is equal to 3, which is again not equal to RHS. So x equals to minus 1 is also not the solution of the given quadratic equation. Okay, so I think that you might be clear with the type 2 problems. The last one is type 3. We'll see what the type 3 problems are. So type 3. Okay, so what is type 3? Type 3 is like you have to identify the unknown in the quadratic equation when the roots are given. Okay, you have to identify the unknown in the quadratic equation, okay, when roots are given. Okay, this is a bit different, although it is simple only. It will be clear when you'll see the questions. Okay, say I have an equation kx square minus of 7x plus of 12 equals to 0. Okay, and it is said that x equals to 2 is the root of the given equation. Then the question is find the value of k. Understood the question? This is the equation given. It is said that x equals to 2 is the root, and then you need to find out the value of k. Now, you know, as per the definition of root, the value of x for which the given value of the quadratic polynomial is equal to 0. Okay, so I'll just substitute x equals to 2 in this equation. What will I get? k into 2 square minus of 7 into 2 plus of 12 equals to 0. This means 4k minus of 14 plus of 12 equals to 0. This means 4k minus of 2 equals to 0. This means k is equal to 1 by 2. This is our answer. Got it? See, what did we do in this? It was given that x equals to 2 is the root of the given quadratic equation. Okay, now root means what? That when you substitute this value of x in the given equation, the value of the equation becomes equals to 0. Okay, and that is what we did. We substituted 2 in place of x and equated that to 0, that is given, and we found out using that a k is equal to half. So this is your answer for k. Clear? Let us see some other examples. Say I have 5x square minus of 2kx plus 7. Okay, this is my p of x, and it is given that, okay, this is my p of x, and it is given that x equals to 1 is the 0 of given polynomial. Okay, so now the question is find the value of k. Now you know that 0 of a given polynomial or the root of the given equation, both are same thing. So this means that at x equals to 1, the value of the given polynomial becomes 0. So basically p of 1 is equal to 0. This implies 5 into 1 square minus 2 into k into 1 plus of 7 is equal to 0. This means 5 minus 2k plus 7 is equal to 0. This means 12 minus 2k is equal to 0. This means minus 2k is equal to minus 12. So k is equal to minus 12 by minus 2, that is 6. Okay, and the value of k is 6 for the given equation. Is it clear now? Now in some questions you may get a quadratic only. Okay, let us see what that is. What do I mean by this? Say the given polynomial is, say f of x is equal to p square x square minus p of x plus of 1. Okay, and it is said that x equals to 1 is the 0 of f of x. Okay, so find the value of p. Again the same procedure. If x equals to 1 is a 0, this means f of 1 should be 0. So when I'll substitute 1 instead of x, I'll have p square into 1 square minus p into 1 plus of 1 equal to 0. This means p square minus p plus of 1 equals to 0. Again you got a quadratic. This we'll see later how to solve a quadratic equation, but I just wanted to tell you that you may expect such type of questions also in which the solution itself will be a quadratic. So again you have the solutions, and then whatever the values of p you will be getting, that is the values of p, the answer for this question. Is this clear? Okay. So let us go through a last example in this type. Say I have 7x square minus of 6x plus of m equals to 0, and it is said that x equals to 4 is the root. So find the value of m. If x is equal to 4 is the root, it should satisfy this. So 7 into 4 square minus 6 into 4 plus of m is equal to 0. This means 7 into 16 minus 24 plus m equals to 0. This means 112 minus of 24 plus of m equals to 0. This means minus of 88, sorry, plus of 88 plus of m equals to 0. So from here m is equal to minus 88. The solution for this question. So now I think you people are familiar with all the 3 types of questions that you can expect in the introduction to quadratic equations. In the coming set of videos, we'll see new concepts of this chapter, like how to formulate a quadratic equation, how to solve them, different ways of solving a quadratic equation, and so on. But in this video, I give you a few examples to know, basically understand how to solve questions based on introduction part of this chapter. Okay, so I hope your concepts are clear till now. I think you like the videos. If you like it, Do share the video, do like the video, and please subscribe the channel for more concepts and more content related to education. That's all for today. Thank you.